Eileen, would you please present the bill?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee, Eileen Cotto, committee staff. Senate Bill 5257 relates to ensuring elementary school students receive sufficient daily recess for mental and physical health. To provide some background, state law requires a certain number of instructional hours each school year. The definition of instructional hours includes recess. Current state law does not specify how much time is spent on recess. The bill before you addresses recess in two ways. First, the bill requires elementary schools to provide daily recess with a minimum of 45 minutes when the school day is longer than 5 days and a minimum of 30 minutes when the school day is shorter than 5 hours. This requirement begins in the 24-25 school year. The bill includes other details, including that recess must be supervised and student directed and held outside whenever possible. It also states that daily recess may not be used to meet physical education requirements. Second, the bill directs the Washington State School Directors Association with the assistance of OSPI to review and update a model policy and procedure that addresses recess in a number of ways, including aiming to make recess safe, inclusive, and high quality, promoting physical activity breaks for middle and high school students, requiring recess to be scheduled before lunch whenever possible, strongly discouraging the practice of withholding recess as a disciplinary action or to have a student complete academic work, and prohibiting using physical activity as a punishment. The bill requires school districts to adopt or amend, if necessary, policies and procedures that at a minimum incorporate all of the elements in the model by the 24-25 school year. A fiscal note is available. OSPI estimates a cost of $17,000 and a non-zero but indeterminate cost for school districts. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much, Eileen. And it's Noble's day today, I guess. And so Senator Nobles, would you like to talk about the bill?
Yes, thank you, Chair Wellman and members of the committee. Again, I'm Senator Tawana Nobles. I represent the 28th Legislative District. And colleagues, while this may be a little unconventional, I do want to ask you to take a moment and think about some of your favorite moments from elementary school when you were younger. And some of these moments may be memories playing on a monkey bars or playing kickball or just fun exchanges with some of your friends. And many of these memories may be from recess. But could you imagine if some of that recess time was limited to just 30 minutes in a day? And how about just 10 minutes? Well, for about 35% of our students here in Washington State, they're receiving 30 minutes or less of recess. And yes, some of them only 10 minutes of recess. Play is critical to positive youth development. What we know about recess is it can lower cortisol levels, it can increase problem solving, it can help our students to build relationships with each other when they are playing. Many of our kids are still suffering from the trauma, anxiety, and isolation experienced during the pandemic. They are additionally experiencing learning loss, or I should say, in need of learning recovery. And while there may be concerns about promoting recess amongst so many other challenges our students are facing, research actually shows that recess bolsters academic success. Recess also bolsters social-emotional growth. Currently, Washington state law does not require recess in schools Currently, Washington state law does not require recess, and schools are allowed to exclude students from recess in response to behavioral violations. And I do believe that's counterproductive. Less recess leads to more behavioral problems. School recess is the most equitable strategy for guaranteeing access to high quality, safe play for all children. And I can speak as a parent. We want our kids to play. Playing is learning. Playing is building really foundational and fundamental skills for our students. A recent statewide parent survey conducted by King County Play Equity found 3/4 of parents want more recess time for their children, and 40% of those think that 50 minutes is the right amount of recess time. The science on the benefits of recess is clear. The desires of parents are clear. And we all know what kids think. Every kid should get recess. Washington should join the 20 other states with this policy in place. And I do understand that there are some concerns around staffing if we increase recess. And I hope that we collectively can address those concerns to ensure that we do what's absolutely best for students. So I just want to thank the committee for allowing me to present this bill. And I hope that we can all align our shared goals of ensuring school is a place that all kids can thrive and enjoy recess. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Senator Nobles. And we're going to jump right into our first panel, in-person panel. Would you like to call them?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
So our first panel will be Julie McCleary, Maya Burton-Kahn, Monique Burton, and Linnea Westerlin.
And while they're coming up, the next panel, which is remote, should get ready. And what is that panel?
The next panel remotely is Julianne Whaley, Alex Estrada, Danae Mesquita, Dawson Curtright, Aubrey Reish.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Okay, we'll jump right in. You have 60 seconds. Please watch the timer. And we'll start with Julie.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon, Senators. I'm Dr. Julie McCleary, a researcher in the UW's College of Education. I also help lead the King County Play Equity Coalition, which is made up of over 100 organizations dedicated to making sure all youth can be physically active and play. We, alongside our statewide partners, strongly support recess and this bill. Youth in our state are facing dual crises of physical inactivity and mental health challenges. Only 1 in 5 youth, down from 1 in 4 just 2 years ago, get the CDC's 60 minutes of recommended recess, putting us in the bottom half of states nationally. And state data from the Healthy Youth Survey show 7 in 10 10th graders report anxiety symptoms. Our coalition focuses on solutions to these crises that are research-based, community-driven, and center youth furthest from play equity. Recess does all of this. Research about the positive health and learning impacts of recess is robust and well-founded. 75% of parents want more recess time, and data shows youth of color are least likely to have adequate recess and the most likely to have recess withheld as punishment. A commitment to recess is a commitment to equity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maya. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Maya Burton-Kahn. I'm 10 years old and in 4th grade at Greenwood Elementary in Seattle Public Schools. I'm here today to share with you why I think recess is important for me, my friends, and kids my age. I like recess because it gives me a chance to have fun and get my fidgety energy out. I get to talk to my friends about lots of random stuff that I can't talk about when I'm in class. When I was little, I would play on the monkey bars and make up challenges for myself. It grew some friendships that I still have now. If kids get recess, they're likely to feel less forced to learn and more like they get a choice to learn because they get a break, which can help them learn more. Some kids also have friends that they only get to see at school that they might have temptation to talk to during class or do something that annoys teachers or classmates. If they have recess, they can talk or play with them there and not do things that annoy teachers and classmates. Classmates. Recess can also help people be more active instead of just staring at a computer screen or at the front of a class or a piece of paper that might just have words or numbers on it that they might just want to break from. Kids can also play sports at recess with people that they would not normally play with. I am asking you to please support this so that all kids get to have fun, laugh, play, take a break, make friends, and be able to concentrate more in school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very concise, to the point. And so we will have Monique.
Hi, my name is Monique Burton, and I'm a pediatric sports medicine physician and mom of 2 elementary age children and support this bill. As a pediatric sports medicine physician, I've seen the benefits of physical activity, including joy, confidence, physical health, and mental well-being. This led to me creating a movement clinic to address the inactivity in youth and the barriers they're confronted with. In fact, just last week, I had a 4th grade patient who only had 10 minutes of recess a day. Obesity and sedentary lifestyles continue to increase, and there's numerous barriers to access physical activity outside of school, including financial, transportation, equipment, and safety. Recess provides a time for kids to engage in spontaneous, free, unstructured play, which is the main way kids get physical activity. They move their bodies in fun ways while engaging in consistent cardiovascular fitness, strength building, and agility, which are important fundamental tools for lifelong physical activity. Recess addresses overcoming these barriers. The mental health benefits are significant as well, and I've seen the mental health challenges increasing firsthand in my clinics. And recent research shows that students with 45 minutes of total recess a day have measurably lower cortisol levels than the 30 minutes of recess that some are getting.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Linnea?
Linnea Westerland, I'm a parent of 3 kids in Seattle Public Schools and a PTA advocate. Our coalition has been talking to parents since 2019 about how to support their child being active and healthy. And what they've told us is that they need support from schools and their children need recess. Not all kids have the opportunity to participate in expensive after-school sports or have a backyard to play in. So school recess is the most equitable place to address this inequity. Yet our research has shown that recess is not delivered evenly or consistently across districts or even within schools in Washington state. Out of a school day that averages 400 minutes long, it is not developmentally appropriate to receive only 10 or 15 minutes of recess. Given the enormous mental and physical health benefits that recess provides, this just isn't fair to our state students. Schools are complicated entities, but it's absolutely clear that when we all take a step back and look at the big picture, what's best for kids is recess. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much, panel. We'll jump right into our remote panel, and I will call Julianne. There you go. I see you. So start talking.
Hi, my name is Julianne Whaley. I'm a 7th grade student at Blaine Middle School in Mrs. Wright's civic leadership class. If this bill is passed, then it will help us learn to communicate and interact with other human beings and will affect the way we learn in our state. I believe that having active breaks during school hours is important to give your brain a break to be able to communicate to others and learn to be social and become a better communicator. I think the most important statement is on page 3, lines 4 through 8 in section 3B, that schools should strongly discourage the practice of withholding recess as a disciplinary or punitive action. I agree with this because it is I was in a different district in elementary school, and they would hold kids in it, and it impacted their mental health, and it would change their mood during the day. This is really important, so I ask you to strike the words strongly discourage from line 4 to replace them to prohibited because it would just be encouraged. Thank you for this bill.
Thank you very much. And we'll see what, it looks like we have a student panel here. Alex Estrada? Is Alex here?
Hello, my name is
Hi.
Alex Estrada, and I'm a 7th grade student at Blaine Middle School in Miss Wright's civic leadership class. I've seen and read your bill, SB 5257, and I agree with it. Please vote yes, because as you mentioned in line 3, section 1 of your bill, recess will be safe, inclusive, and high quality for students. This includes everybody K through 12. This is one of the key statements in your bill. It will let young kids and young adults be more playful than violent and more inclusive than asocial or censorious. You mentioned in section 1, lines 20 to 21, recess may not be withheld as a disciplinary or punitive action or to have a student complete academic work. This is very important and should be prohibited instead of strongly discouraged, because in all my other schools, not in Blaine Middle School, not in Blaine School District, teachers would threaten to hold you in for recess. And I think that is just absurd, because it's not good for energetic children or teens' health, physically or mentally. They need to be more active and social with others. And with all of that, I thank you for this bill and for considering my suggestions and voting for yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Dawson, you're up. Welcome. Dawson, we can't hear you. Are you muted? Check to see.
Hi, my name is Dawson Curright, and I'm a 7th grade student at Blaine Middle School in Miss Wright's Civic Leadership class. I support the bill because I personally find it annoying when I'm getting distracted from my learning. Kids will like school more than we do now, which will make their grades better and we'll have more fun while we learn. I really like how you include the middle and high school. I would like you to look at page 2, lines 36 and 37 of section 31B II, where it says promote physical activity breaks for middle and high school students. I think you should make more and longer breaks for middle and high school students required instead of being promoted. The reason why I think lunch should be longer is because the students only, because it's, the reason why I think lunch should be longer is because that's the students' only break from school, and we are there most of the time. It could also be a second break in the day, so they will have another refresh. Thank you for considering voting yes for recess. It will make our future much better.
Thank you very much, Dawson. And we'll finish this panel from Blaine Middle School, where it sounds like you've got a great civics program with Aubrey. Aubrey? Aubrey, do you have audio? See if you can talk. No? See if that works, Aubrey. Oh, I'm so sorry that we will not be, we can't hear you. Sorry, Aubrey, we can't hear you. And so we'll ask you to send in your testimony, and we'd love a picture of your whole civics class because it's doing a great job. We'd love to see young people connected to the work that we're doing so you can get a real feel for what it does, what it feels like to be moving a bill. Thank you. I'm really sorry that we couldn't get Aubrey. We'll have to go to our next panel, which is in person.
Yes, Chair. Our next panel is Kelsey Hamilton, Ana Hernandez French, Natalie Maxfield, and Evelyn Atchison.
Hello, my name is Kelsey Hamilton, here today representing the Washington State School Directors Association. I'm a director in the Chehalis School District and parent of 3 children, all in public school. WASDA members consistently prioritize the health and well-being of students as part of its legislative platform. As school board members, we see it as our responsibility to ensure young people have access to a well-rounded education with ample opportunity for play, movement, and enrichment activities, including recess. Districts currently determine locally how and when to provide recess, considering student needs, staff contracts, weather, outdoor temperature, school facilities, and instructional time requirements. We also determine necessary needs based off of individual students. For example, those with injuries on crutches or those that prefer to spend 1 recess per week receiving services like speech to avoid losing core instructional time. These local flexibility options are important to maintain. We do have some questions relating to what would be considered a physical activity break as would be required for middle and high school. And depending on that and the policy that would be established by WASDA and OSPI, we don't know what other supports or objections we might have as that is not yet written. We're committed to working with legislators in the future.
Thank you very much. Now, Anna, are you going to be speaking or is somebody else going to be speaking here?
I am going to be speaking. I believe we also have others speaking. So
Okay.
I'll get started real quick because I want to swap out seats real quick when I'm done.
Okay.
Madam Chair and members of the committee, again, for the record, my name is Ana Hernandez French, and I'm here from the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction to testify other on Senate Bill 5257. I want to start by affirming OSPI's belief that physical activity and play are essential elements of a balanced and high-quality learning environment. We recognize the many benefits of adequate recess, from physical and emotional health to concentration and behavior. We applaud the intent of the bill to make clear in law that withholding access to physical activity from students as punishment or using physical activity itself as punishment are both practices that are harmful to children and not the ways of our K-12 system. However, there's a lot that goes into a district building its master schedule, and anytime we get into specific minute mandates, we run the risk of unintended consequences. We stand ready to work with the sponsor and the committee toward our shared commitment to the physical, social, and emotional health of our youth. And I am here for questions, but I'm just going to step back one row briefly. If you would, are you fine? Never mind, I'll stay here.
And I'm not sure whether Natalie, are you Natalie? Would you like to tell us your testimony, Natalie?
Madam
you.
Chair and members of the committee, my name is Natalie Maxfield and I'm a third grader. I'm here in support of Bill 5257. Recess is important. Kids build up a lot of energy and recess is where you can let it out. If we don't have enough recess, we might let that energy out in class and that's not okay. So I think having a protected recess is a very good thing. Recess should be longer. It feels rushed and over before you know it. I think recess should be as much time as possible while still having a good chunk of school time. Recess should not be taken away as punishment. I know what that feels like and it does not feel good at all. Recess is a very important thing and I think I speak for many kids when I say that. I love my recess and I think it should be longer. Please pass this bill. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much for that very concise. May I ask how old you are?
8.
You are a very good reader. Do people tell you that? It's very impressive, Natalie. Thank you for coming and testifying. I appreciate that. Evelyn,
Chair Wellman, Ranking Member Hawkins, committee members, my name is Evelyn Atchison. Thank you, Sarah Nobles, for bringing this bill. I live in the 22nd Legislative District. I support Senate Bill 5257. I am 7 years old. I am in second grade. I go to Orla Montessori in the Olympia Community School District. We get 30 minutes of recess before lunch. I think kids should get a minimum of 45 minutes of recess. I think we should have recess in the morning. I like recess because I can play with my friends. Please support Senate Bill 5257.
thank you very much. That was really excellent. Very impressive. Are you in the same school? No, different schools. So good
No,
representation.
Madam Chair.
Hmm?
But my grandson goes to Orla. He's in the 3rd grade.
Okay.
So
Well, obviously good education is happening in this.
I think they build vocabulary there, I swear.
Very, very good. And we're going to have a final panel here.
Thank you, Chair. The next panel and final panel is Emily Carter, Carla Landis, Randy Spalding, and Amanda Cost.
Okay, so we have a number of people in person, and whoever gets here first gets to speak first. Okay,
Good afternoon and thank you. I'm Emily Carter and I'm here representing Special Olympics Washington. This recess bill is to ensure equitable access to physical activity and play. This can be most positively affect those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Students with intellectual and developmental disabilities face a number of barriers. When comparing our Special Olympics athletes to the general population, obesity rates are 16% higher in adults, insufficient aerobic activity is 10% higher, and balance problems are 37.5% higher. The job of our schools and communities is to break down these barriers and help fill these gaps. All too often, our students with disabilities are considered a different category or exception. Recess should be inclusive always. An increase in physical activity and play will not only assist in building lifelong healthy people, but will also assist in developing gross and fine motor skills, building lasting, meaningful friendships, express their emotions, problem solve, be creative with their minds and bodies, take risks, learn, build independence right next to their peers without disabilities. Thank you.
Randy, you want to begin?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Wellman and members of the committee. I'm Randy Spalding, Executive Director for the State Board of Education, testifying in support of Senate Bill 5257. The board has been working to center student voice as part of our advocacy and policymaking process. One strategy we've taken to do that is to engage with students in relatable ways. And a recent example of that was to include a brief survey with a naming competition for our new unofficial mascot, Snorkels the Seal. We asked students what they liked about their schools and what they would like to see changed. Elementary students overwhelmingly told us they love their teachers and they would like more time for recess. I'm here today to honor their voice and express the board's support for Senate Bill 5257. The policy would advance our priority to support the whole child to create the conditions needed for learning by ensuring that each elementary student has time for play as part of their learning experience. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you so much. And there's a question for Randy. Yeah, Senator Hawkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Randy, good to see you. And thanks to everyone for the testimony. I really appreciate it. I guess, I haven't heard this to be a problem, but I guess I'm kind of curious. I thought I could pick on you, Randy, since you're a professional here with all your experience, but why do you think we should pass a bill? This section 2 seems pretty prescriptive about the times and the durations and everything. Isn't this kind of an issue maybe that the local, like the parents who have issues in their particular school district should consider taking to their local school board? And so I'm kind of wondering what your thoughts are at the local school district level versus a statewide sort of mandate requirement.
Yeah, I think that's actually a fair question. And I would say that as a general rule, the board tends to have a position similar to what OSPI expressed earlier, where we try not to dictate specific minutes. In this case, we think that we would kind of honor what the students are telling us, but also I think Senator Nobles made a great case for why this time that's unassigned and allows for play is so important. I don't know if that answers your question, but.
Thank you. And our final testimony.
Thank you, Chair Wellman, for the opportunities to speak today. I am Amanda Cost. I am elected to represent the University of Washington faculty, and I have strong support for Senate Bill 5257. So you may ask yourself, why do university faculty care about recess for 7-year-olds? Well, the answer is that recess and physical activity is critically important for mental health, as we've heard from our 7-year-olds here today. And students with good mental health can go on to achieve their academic goals, including higher education. You may have heard students in higher education are experiencing high rates of mental health issues, and this bill will foster good habits in elementary school and beyond that will persist through higher education and hopefully for their whole life. So I want to thank Senator Nobles for this excellent bill, for the opportunity to speak with you today.
Thank you so much. And that is going to conclude the testimony that we have on this bill. There are others who I know wanted to be heard. We won't have enough time for all of them to testify. If you will send us your written comments, we will be sure to distribute those. And we are going to go to an exec session. We're going to transfer to an exec session, and we are going to present bills 5065 and 5071 for exec today. Those two bills. And to begin the exec session, I'm going to ask Eiley